My name is Cole Mortensen, and I've been a Magnum Hunt Club member for 4 years.
I'm Don Hanks, and I'm a Magnum Hunt Club member.
Some of North America's best hunts are available to everyone, and many are on public lands. However, you have to draw the right tag. And to draw the right tag, you have to know hunting areas, trophy potential, draw odds, and deadlines. Team Magnum's tag draw specialists can make this process quick and simple. On today's episode, we find out what happens when someone draws a high-quality tag. This is Nosler's Magnum TV.
Today our members are hunting in Nevada, the state that issues more Desert Bighorn tags than any other.
Well, this is day one of our sheep hunt here, opening day. Last night we spotted 6 rams from the camp that you can see out there on the flat, and they were right about this general area here last night. This is about the last place that we saw them, and so we're hoping here that this morning we can crest the ridge here and find them at a place where I might be able to get a shot, because there were out of the 6 rams, there were probably 3 that were pretty good rams, I think, for this area, and I'd be more than happy to shoot any one of them, so we'll see how it goes here. One of the things that we struggled with the whole day was just seeing the sheep first, being able to plant a clean stalk, have a good approach to the hunt. Unfortunately, the way that we had to glass was kind of into the sun, so it's real difficult to see over there. And so we worked our way up in there and took quite a bit of time to get around through there. Got around just in time to see them trailing across the canyon behind us at probably 800 yards, but I don't think we actually spooked them because they never did look back at us or look at us the whole time that they were trailing out of there. I think we actually caught them between where they were going to bed up and where the guzzler was. So we worked our way back around the basin there and tried to come over on top of them, and unfortunately one of them spotted us before we saw them and spooked. And we went one way and they went the other, and so it just didn't work out there.
Nevada has lots of public land opportunities for sheep hunters. 90% of the hunting is done on federal lands.
When we were walking across the basin to see the 6 rams we were looking for trailing out across the draw from us with no chance of actually getting a shot, really was kind of, it was a tough thing for me, because you know, you put all the effort into getting up there and to make a mistake or to not see them in time or to just have things go awry. It really was kind of disheartening. You know, it was kind of a tough day, and but all in all it was good. You know, it was nice to get up on top, to see some new country up there, to have a good look around, see what kind of area we were dealing with.
Nosler's Magnum TV is brought to you by Nosler, Load Nosler, Own the Shots, and by Nikon, Dunham's High Caliber Ranch, Gobble and Grunt Outfitters, the NRA ILA, and Thompson Center Arms, America's master gunmaker. This portion of Nosler's Magnum TV is brought to you by Gobble and Grunt Outfitters.
Both of this week's Magnum Hunt Club members are looking to complete their Grand Slam of sheep.
The Grand Slam is a coveted accomplishment for a sheep hunter. The amount of time, effort, and luck that goes into a Grand Slam of North American wild sheep make it the king of Grand Slams. It includes 2 thin-horn species, the Doll and the Stone, as well as 2 bighorn species, the Rocky and the Desert. The largest of the 4 is the Rocky Mountain Bighorn. A male can weigh in excess of 300 pounds, with its horns weighing 30 pounds. Their color is typically a light brown to grayish with white on their backsides. The horns of the Rocky Mountain Bighorn are massive and curl close to the face. The most striking feature of the Doll sheep is its almost all-white coat. The horns of this thin-horn species are longer and curve outward more than that of the Rocky Mountain Bighorn. A male Doll sheep weighs as much as a Rocky Mountain ewe. They are generally found in drier climates and rarely stray far from rocky territories to ease escape from predators. The Stone sheep is a darker subspecies of the Doll sheep. Hunting the Stone sheep generally requires the assistance of horseback. Hunters must be in top physical condition to endure the rough and steep terrain needed to get in close. Stone sheep rams can weigh 250 pounds and stand 40 inches tall at the shoulders. The Desert Bighorn is generally the smallest of the North American wild sheep. Males weigh around 220 pounds and stand between 38 and 42 inches tall. Their horns are longer than that of the Rocky Mountain Bighorn, but are not as massive. Female Desert Bighorns, though, have the longest horns of any other female in the North American wild sheep family. Living in extremely dry climates, the Desert Bighorn can go long periods without water, which mostly comes from cactus. Because of the lack of territory the Desert Bighorn is found, it is the hardest tag to draw. The Desert Bighorn is the major stumbling block for hunters in completing their Grand Slam.
Every year, Magnum members draw tags just like this through the help of the Magnum Tag Draw Service.
We got around and managed to find the ridge that the ram was on that we had seen earlier. You know, to start with, we were kind of looking at him at a really bad angle, and I really wasn't sure if he was the kind of ram that I was looking for. So we took a few minutes there and we set up a spotting scope, had an opportunity to look at him. Looked like a good old ram. We were counting growth rings and figured that he was probably in that 8 to 9 years. Had another couple good looks at him when he turned his head, but still it's kind of tough to tell when you're looking from that distance, and finally I decided to take him.
Okay, I'm good. Got him, buddy.
All right.
Good shot.
Well, we've been waiting here for probably about an hour. Well, let me do this so that I don't look so bad on TV. We've been sitting here for about an hour, watching the ram bedded down. We wanted to wait until he stood up so that I could get a good clean shot. We're here at about 296 yards, and I'm in some of the sharpest rocks I've ever sat in. Later, Robert might get a butt shot of me. I've got a tear in my pants about like that long, but we just sat here and waited. The ram finally stood up. It gave me a great opportunity. Pulled the trigger and he's down. So why don't we go over and take a look?
An old sheep.
Look at those horns. He's a good ram. The Desert Sheep tag is one of the toughest tags to draw. I've applied for 16 years for this tag. On a typical year, I'll apply in about 9 different states for between 30 and 35 different hunts. It takes a lot of effort to keep track of those deadlines and keep track of where you want to apply, to know where to apply so that you can improve your odds to draw. The Magnum tags, Robert Hanneman, he's there to help you out. I highly recommend going with him. He'll get you squared away, and maybe you too one day will be able to hunt desert sheep in Nevada. After I shot the ram, we looked and had cell phone service, and my dad, my wife, and My brother and his wife and their son Peyton were down in the trucks below. As luck would have it, we were able to get a hold of them on the cell phones, and they wanted to come up to take pictures and to see the ram. And Gary couldn't believe that they were willing to hike all the way up the mountain just to do that, but they did. And it was really neat to have my wife, who's about 2 months pregnant right now, my brother and my dad hike all the way up the drainage that we'd worked so long to get up to, just to take a few pictures, to say congratulations, to see the ram, you know, and to be a part of the experience. You know, it really means a lot to have your family along with you, and to be able to share the experience. You know, to do something like this by yourself, it just wouldn't be as much fun. You know, it means a lot more to have others involved.
This portion of Nosler's Magnum TV is brought to you by Dunham's High Caliber Ranch.
2 days before the season opened, we were scouting an area and we saw a sheep that I just fell in love with, and I named him Flair. He had the flared horns, wasn't really the typical boxy bighorn sheep horns, and I wanted that ram so bad. Left, come back opening day of the season, and could not find him. And we spent a lot of time walking and looking around the country, could not find the sheep at all. And there was a little disappointment there, but there's still, if you set your mind on one sheep, then you better plan on spending a lot of time looking for that one sheep. My main goal is to kill a mature bighorn ram. I don't care what it scores. If I like it on my wall, that's the ram that I'm going to kill. One of the things that I've learned over the years about sheep hunting is the importance of glassing, and basically all hunting, but 25 years ago when I got my first sheep tag, I'd only hunted deer and antelope. And I was young and had good legs at that time, and the more country I could cover, the better I liked it. And so I just walked ridge to ridge and looked in each canyon, and I found out the importance when I started sheep hunting of sitting down, getting a good pair of optics, looking for sheep and locating the sheep before you ever start to hunt them. If you start walking ridge lines when you're sheep hunting and just dropping over into canyons, you're going to spend a long time hunting sheep before you finally see a sheep or get a sheep. When you draw a sheep tag, there's basically a couple ways you can go. You can hire an outfitter and not have to worry about a lot of scouting and preparation and everything, or you can do it on your own. On this trip, I decided to do it on my own with a lot of help from very good friends. And the importance of scouting is tremendous. You got to look at the area, you got to know the area if you haven't been in it before, if you haven't ever hunted it before or helped anybody else hunt it. So you got to know the lay of the land, the country.
Well, Don, that means you just got to go over one more draw.
That's fine. Down here, basically the only water source for these sheep are guzzlers. There's 7 guzzlers in the area. The scouting trips, a lot of those were just to find out where the guzzlers were, so we knew where the sheep were watering.
It's basically an artificial catch basin for water for wildlife. All sorts of wildlife use these. They typically will target the bighorn sheep down here. But this particular range we're in, the Last Chance range, has no freestanding water that's available to the bighorn. That's the only limiting factor in this habitat. So to take care of that and expand the bighorn's range a little bit, they've come in and built an artificial water development, or a guzzler. This guzzler behind me, you can see the tanks. Those are just the storage tanks. It's got a metal apron, catches any of the rainwater and goes into a gutter and then comes down the pipe. And it's stored in the tanks, and then there's an actual drinker that the animals use to drink out of, and it's got a float in it. So as they drink it dry, it'll fill back up automatically. And this is a great example of sportsmen's dollars at work here in Nevada. It's put sheep back on the mountain in places that otherwise would be limited. It doesn't get any more on the ground than this money and this volunteer time right here. So thanks to all those folks who spent so much time doing this. It really does make memories come true and expands Nevada's wildlife opportunities.
This portion of Nosler's Magnum TV is brought to you by Blackhorn 209.
Rob Dunham from the Magnum Hunt Club. Here's an important message that every hunter needs to hear.
When we're out enjoying our right to hunt, it's easy to forget about what's happening in Washington, D.C. But just because you're not thinking about the politicians doesn't mean they're not thinking about you. They are always up to something. And if you're not happy with what they're up to, please listen to this message from my friend Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, fact number 235. Contrary to popular belief, America is not a democracy. It's a Chuck-tatorship.
I always get a kick out of those Chuckisms. But of course I can't decide alone how the country is run. If you're worried about the direction our country's going, you're in good company. Too many people have forgotten our nation was founded to protect freedom, like our Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Freedom is not about what government can do for us, but about keeping government from doing things to us. There's only one way to protect our freedoms, by voting for the candidates who support them. I hope you won't be missing in action on Election Day. Register to vote. I'm Chuck Norris, and I approve this message.
For more information, go to triggerthevote.org.
I really wanted to come back into this area where I'd seen flare and walk up that canyon towards those guzzlers and check that out again. We come back up the canyon this morning, got in and got situated, got comfortable, and at that time Jeremy spotted this ram up on top of the hill.
Yeah, he's hit. He's hit.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I think whenever you draw a desert sheep tag, it's probably the ultimate sheep tag. There's nothing more exciting, and it's great to be able to share it with family and friends. Up on the mountain, I thank my wife Rita for coming down and cooking and spotting sheep or helping spot sheep with us and that. And I got to thank her for more than that. I got to thank her for putting up with my sheep habit for 25 years. I can't imagine what it's like to be married to somebody that when they draw a sheep tag or book a sheep hunt, they kind of turn into like a bull elk and rut. Their eyes glaze over, and they're not thinking about the same thing as that bull elk, but they're thinking about a sheep hunt. I'm sure that their mind is just completely gone. I think it takes a very special woman to put up with a guy that has got sheep fever, and I've definitely had it for 25 years. This ram completes my second Grand Slam.
Whether with an outfitter or on your own, many trophy hunts start with drawing a quality tag. Today's episode showed us how the Magnum Hunt Club's tag draw program can lead to the experience of a lifetime. Join us next week for another exciting episode with the Magnum Hunt Club. Until then, I'm Chris Cox with the National Rifle Association, protecting our Second Amendment freedoms and hunting heritage.
Nosler's Magnum TV is brought to you by Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearms, accessories, and gunsmithing tools, and by Nosler, Dunham's High Caliber Ranch, OutfittersRating.com, and the Magnum Hunt Club. Your adventure is our business. Closed captioning is brought to you by the Magnum Hunt Club.
Thank you.